So that internal rotation of that front knee is really what's stopping your hips from rotating. So I'd like to see you work on that. We're going to also look at the angle at which you plant with your front knee, and I think this one looks okay, 143 degrees. And this is what we want to have happen. We want your knee to retract and for your chest to come through. And it's this reciprocal action where the knee comes back and the chest drives through that allows you to really create a lot of torque. And this is what I want to see. So, moving into the posture at ball release, you are in what we call an A posture, just straight up and down. This would be a B and this would be a C, and so you're in A posture. What we want you to do is just be aware of where your posture is, so that we're not really changing it as much. This is ideally, where you're going to be. Looking at our stack, and this is back here a little ways, so you do a good job of stepping in. Toe is about 45 degrees. Your elbow is high early. It's quite high. Your knee stays inside, and I'd like to see your upper body stay back. Ball and glove a little bit longer. I think you're separating your hands from the glove way too early, which leaves your arm out to dry, which allows you to really stay high with that elbow. And as you drive through, it still stays high, and we don't want that. So we want you to be able to stack to keep your elbow lower, and that ability to stay back is going to keep that elbow at a lower. It should be at your shoulder level and not so much high, because it's not in a strong position right now to throw. I'd like to see your elbow at that shoulder level and to be able to be pinched back there. That's going to be huge for you. So stacking we need to work on. We need to look at your front glove. As you drive through, your arm goes straight, and with your arm straight, you're not pinching. So you have one arm going down and one arm going up. I want this arm to be a little bit higher so that this one can rotate. So we're working on rotation, and you need some symmetry, which means that your front side is going to be the same as the back side. So the front glove needs to get better. There's drills to fix that. But really want you to not go with your straight arm, but we want to keep your arm bent. Let's look at what we call a high elbow, and this is something that you have. The elbow is quite high in comparison to your shoulder. So off the shoulder, we want to make sure that this elbow stays lower, and that allows you to put a lot less stress on your labrum in your shoulder. So I'm a little bit worried about that. That's something I want you to be careful of, and that's something that could cause pain, potentially injuries, if not fixed. So high elbow is definitely something I want you to work on. Let's look at your chest extension here. Out of your back hip, about 43 degrees. This is fabulous. I'd like to see your back leg stay on the ground so that your hips can rotate. Your hips can rotate through. That back leg stability is going to allow you to push your chest through at 40 to 43 degrees, and it's just going to be a lot easier for you to do so. So chest extension's fine. Last thing I want to work on, you can see your wrist go outside of that elbow. I want to get this elbow down further to the shoulder level. Okay? And once we do that, you're going to be able to keep this wrist on top of that elbow instead of having it come out. You're really pushing early with your elbow first. And I want to see chest first, then elbow, then wrist, in that order. And we've got to get your shoulder more stable, which is going to keep you safer for a longer period of time. So you do have an arm fly out. That's something I want you to work on. Arm fly out, front glove, high elbow, internally rotated front knee, and the angle of your back leg needs to improve, and stacking. So really, if you work on this stuff, just in a few short weeks, you should, number one, start feeling a little bit better when you throw, and then number two, be able to increase your velocity. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll talk to you tomorrow.